Gary took SPY long. Check it out. I know it looks to me like it's flying to the downside, but probably you're seeing something I am not seeing. CVX is still slowly holding. You're seeing some that. I mean, it's okay. You have an edge. It's working over the long run, and getting some that is part of the game, right? And let's see what's going to happen. What's happening on the SPY here? Neutral. Let's actually look for a long on the SPY because I think it could be a long around 676 if it sells off. The level is interesting. Strong moving average. And it's making higher lows. So at that area it could set up maybe. Add more. This is over for me. Will be out for you. Add more if it goes down, Gary. Come on, don't give up. It's now how it works. We talked about this before. You lose only if you get stopped out. I mean, your stop loss at 647.35 will give you a lot of room. Yes, I think it's not exactly the 200. I can see it slowly making higher lows, and you can see that there was a huge volume somewhere down here at the bottom. I don't expect it to go all the way to the downside, but I expect it to make a higher low on the 15-minute chart. These are so many candles to the downside, and it needs to make at least a pullback on the 15-minute chart before the continuation. So we're going to have a nice bounce to the upside. And I want to see how it's going to behave around 676. What about Tesla? Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla is tough to read, to be honest. It's at this stage it could pull back more, it could go higher. I think SPY looks more clean at the moment. Yeah, the thing about TGT is that there is not much after hours and pre-market data. I love trading TGT. At least I love how it's being traded intraday, but it's difficult to develop a plan without any pre-markets and after hours candles. Sean, it's just a zone around the 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart, approximately coinciding with these levels around here. A touch from here, support to resistance, support, support, that could act as a support. So it's more of a zone. We'll see how it's going to behave around that area. So let's see it. It's slowly descending. I can see a lot of traps around here, like big 1-minute candle spikes after each small red candle. Just probably trap the reversals. It could reverse, but you don't want to go for a V. And like I told you in the webinar, you want to see some specific price action behavior that did not happen before. Higher low, volume spike, double bottom, 15-minute reversal candle, anything like that. If the 15-minute candle in 4 minutes closes as a reversal candle, that could be a reversal even before it reaches 676. I love it when we have double hammers, where the second hammer is below the first one. That's a strong reversal candlestick pattern. So if this 15-minute candle closes as a reversal candle, it could be played for a reversal before this area. Gary, give it 3 minutes and re-enter. If it just doesn't run within these 3 minutes. So let's wait and see how it's going to close like. Simon, this is not my trading layout. I just made a simpler layout for sharing the screen because I got some feedback that 6 charts in one screen look so small and look distracting. So I decided to make something simpler. 3 charts, Atlas, and my list of stocks. Basically as simple as possible. But when I trade, I use 6 charts. I use the 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart, 15 minute chart only for reversals and later during the day. 60 minute chart, daily and weekly. Weekly chart and daily for selection. So weekly, daily selection, 60 minute chart, planning the trades, plus levels, 5 minute chart, 1 minute chart, execution. Later during the day, I include the 15 as well. Yeah, Harvey, the 15 minute chart for open range breakouts and fake breaks are not a must. It's enough to use the 1 and 5 after you've planned the trade during the pre-market. Michael, just upload it in the room drive. You can download it and open it on your Dash Trader. I think it's there in files. So if you open the drive in the chat room and you go to files, scroll down a little bit and you'll see a layout that's called one screen 2. That's my trading layout. Awesome. So you see, this is why I said wait for the 15-minute candle to close. It looks like it's a hammer after hammer, but then 2 minutes mess it up. And I told you what's happening. You get small candles followed by small red candles followed by big spikes. Small green candles followed by spikes. Red candles followed by spikes. And it's been a pattern, and that's not a reversal pattern. For a reversal, you need a unique price action behavior that did not happen before. Yes, Harvey, that's also mine. These are the stocks, a list of stocks that I'm going through every week and day. It's these ones. Not all of them are good. For example, some of them are less active and they are just sleeping, waiting to get back in play. I have them on the list, but I trade a handful of them, the ones that are usually liquid and in play. Alright, so let's see how the 5-minute chart is going to close. Give it 2 minutes. Don't rush a reversal yet. It is going to reverse and it is going to go to the upside, but you don't want to get yourself chopped out. This here is what we call a bullish order, a buy order. It appeared recently at 676 to 1-ish. When you have a big order appearing, and this one around here, when you have big orders appearing above the level of support, these are buy orders. It's people who don't want to miss the move. Some of them jumping in with market orders right around the current price. Some of them are putting limit orders above the level of support because they don't want to miss the trade. Now that's a sign of a reversal, that a reversal might be setting up around here. It's not enough for me to see, but we're having some bullish signals right now. You see, they keep coming. They keep coming close to the current price. They don't want to miss the move. And you see, when we spotted this around here. We spotted it at 20 to 48 here on this minute. At this stage, we start seeing that, okay, there is a bullish price action that's happening. More FOMO happening around here. More FOMO market order up here and more around here. That's a sign of a reversal. And that's how you can read the Atlas or the level 2 in combination with price action around the zone that you're looking for to spot reversals. And we've said that 676, that's the zone that we're looking for a reversal. And then you need a specific price action behavior that did not happen before. Otherwise, I would have commented it. We spotted it around here. Alex, that's smart because probably Nvidia is following the SPY and this thing is reversing, so probably your Nvidia is going to be reversing as well. Anyone jumped into the SPY long or caught this reversal? Good job, Gary. Nice one, Loxley. Good job. JBR also caught it. That's good. That's good. Could be a trap. Could be a trap. But I'll keep an eye on it. I will definitely take a trade on it. Like I said, that was a specific behavior that did not happen and it was a decent trade. But it's still not enough for me to jump into it. It could reverse though from here. Could be a trap or could be a trap now for the longs and for the shorts. Before it could hold the low and continue going higher. But for me, I want to see a reversal candle on the 15-minute chart. It just keeps doing the exact same thing. The same thing it did at 1430-ish. Where it looked like it's about to close as a hammer, then the last couple minutes it sold off. I think I have 5 levels. 5 levels, Hassan. For aggregate. All in on Nvidia short. Come on, Alex. Stop flip-flopping. Okay, let's see. Could form a fake break before the recovery. I'll keep waiting for the 15-minute reversal candle, maybe 3:15 p.m. because I had 0 trades today, and I think that this could offer a decent move. I'm just waiting for a decent signal before I pull the trigger. Yes, Sean, it looks bearish, so we need to wait for longer. I'll probably be sitting here until 3:15, and if it doesn't set up by 3:15, I'll just close my dice and take a break. Been a long day. Yeah, 3 hours straight is too much. I need some food. When Megan asked me for coverage, and I was like, I'll be 3 hours straight on the microphone. And her response was, I had that a while ago. I'm like, okay, since you had that a while ago, so what? One day I can handle it. It's just that Lenny and Jared, they were also busy. And I could not let you guys stay bored around here without anybody on the microphone. Thank you, Michelle. By the way, guys, if you follow me, by end of this year, I will share some of the best results my mentees had on X. It would be a good motivational post. You can follow me and read it later. I'll show you the results that they had before and after, and how it's possible to anyone to become consistently profitable. I think these type of threads or results are motivating for traders because results of moderators is one thing, but the results of actual members, actual traders of the community who actually made it are more motivating. It gives you the feeling or makes you know that if anyone can make it, simple member who've put in the effort, then you can do it as well. There are two specifically that are attracting, and it's couple traders that I worked with who made it within 3 months of us working together. This is a rarity. Most of the people make it between 6 months to a year or 3 months to 6 months. But it's really rare to have traders who made it within 3 months of working together. So I'll share quite a few results before and after with small tips, general tips that you could start implementing. Anyway, guys, yeah, within 3 months is the reality. I never promise success when I work with anyone. Um, and I mentioned that it takes some time. But there are quite a few traders who made it within 3 months. But it's rare. So if it takes you longer, don't think that you're a worse trader or you're not doing really well or you're a slow learner. There are two parts of trading. There is the technical part and the psychological part that you need to master. Some people good at technicals, some people good at psychology. Some people are good at both. So you need to practice both. Anyway, guys, it's 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be jumping off. And yes, Mike Provencher, I am a part of the bootcamp. If you are in the bootcamp, I'm looking forward to seeing you there. It was good talking to you today, guys. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern.
So let's see if we can find anything of note. We have stocks like MSCR still at the dead lows, struggling to get off the ground. I'm not gonna bring up Netflix because Mike's on the line. So I don't
It's
know if
okay.
he's
You can bring it up. I'm not afraid.
yeah. If you want
I'm
more,
not
it's
afraid.
cheaper. That's the whole point.
Exactly.
You don't start. You
They
don't
got to
start
drive
full
down the
size.
price. They got to drive down the price so certain people with
That's
vested
right.
interest buy and make money on it when they come out and approve the deal.
That's right. The, the deeper it goes, the better the deal.
Yep. And then overnight will be news that the deal has been approved and it will gap up
Yeah, Mike will be
40%.
he'll be like
Be
way up
like,
here.
see, told you. Just
Patience.
you can try to fight the system or you can play along with it. Your
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, John and I were chatting a little bit, and he was like, "I got me some Lulu. I don't know why, but I got some." And then a couple days later, he's like, "I got rid of it. It didn't do anything." And then we opened it up this morning, and it's up like 10%. I'm like, "Well, here goes the system again, waiting for you to sell." And it's just it sucks because like when you're not moving, you're like, "Well, is it worth it?" You know.
Is it worth it?
I'm not getting anywhere. And then the moment you sell, gap up open.
It gaps, and you're like, really, thank you so much, appreciate that.
So you never know.
It's just
Activist investor probably will last, no regrets. I think it's going to be a weird journey, John, because there's arguments of would you have sold if it moved up and then tested your break even? Typically, the answer is yes. Then the question is going to be, well, what if it doesn't test you and goes higher? Well, then you've missed the opportunity. And then the final question is, what if it goes tests you and goes higher? So you would have gotten out break even and you would have missed out. All three of them will frustrate you, but they all could work.
that is the truth.
And that's why they say don't time the market. And yet we're here every single day trying to time every single move all the time. Second day run. Yeah. Yeah, what did it do? It kind of stalled near a level, and then we got this activist move. Yeah, it's hard to get stuff off the ground these days when it's looking like that. You need a good reason. Let's see what else. So yeah, MU. I wanted to see what other semis performed today. LRCX kind of had like a opening drive and then didn't do too much. App is up. Constellation, we wouldn't have looked at that. Starbucks is up. That one's actually pretty strong. Clack. So yeah, there wasn't really. I mean, the semis are up today, but not. They're not trading well. So they're up on the session and sideways on the day. Kind of stinks. Yeah, most of them faded morning gaps at least. AMD must have been up significantly this morning. Damn, it's still up 2.5%, and it's down on the day. How much was it up? Yeah, like 4% in the morning. Let's see. Amen. Took that rebound back to the open price. Very good. Yep.
The SPY is like right at the open.
Yeah. Yeah.
All day, nothing. All day, and we're closing. What
Mhm.
the heck?
Yeah, these little candle formations are annoying. Like an indecision day, a flush, another indecision day. And then, I mean, tomorrow we're gonna need to get to like an edge to do anything with this kind of behavior. So,
Yeah.
something in me feels as if, I don't know. Usually when I see this kind of move down and then like you immediately come back into the same balance, I'd almost wonder if we could get like, let's see, we opened up here. So maybe if we open like right underneath today's close, but we bid up and through to kind of change the bias here, and mostly to take out any seller that came in on the breakdown there, because they're not, technically a seller isn't out yet, but if we did that, it would take them out. They're just kind of defending the high right now, so very strange candle formations here. I don't get a lot of good information off of this. Because, I mean, we're still down on the week, obviously. And yeah, it's mostly because we're not expanding beyond our expected move today. It kind of reflects that the market doesn't see, you know, risk down here just yet. So it would be something to kind of use this zone. These people are trapped, so we're kind of bouncing off of their point. But then to fully take them out, we'd have to go push over here. And if we could open low, but not outside of our profile, maybe we could bid through tomorrow and kind of, you know, it'd be similar to this guy, which opened right at the top and went down. So we could do it this way. That'd be a really cool trade if we
Hopefully.
could spot it. So I guess mark today's low in the morning as a support. And if we open next to it tomorrow and we get some early push off of it, we might try, if the buying is good tomorrow, we might try and go for Monday's high. That'd be a great distance to travel.
It's Thursday, right?
Today's Thursday, yeah.
It's So nice not knowing what day of the week it is.
Yeah, that's gonna be even worse next week.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna lose all sense of time. By Tuesday, I'll just pretend like time doesn't exist.
Right?
PLTR, Google AMD. Yeah, so the phrase inside day is pretty generic. As long as all activity exists inside of a large trading range, there are a lot of days that could be considered inside. Um, the ones that kind of are relevant is usually setup days, where you have a large day and then a small inside, maybe with a slight test to confirm that we're not expanding, but we're also not reversing. So typically we do a lot of trade like this, back and forth in the upper third to half. If I go look at, you could do the opposite too. I'm gonna just draw the bullish one because there's always the opposite. But let's go look at like PLTR. See, PLTR to me is similar to what's happening on the market, where we're inside of yesterday, but more importantly, we're supporting a candle that we thought broke down yesterday. So if I came into the market here and I saw buying, yesterday tried to knock out that buyer and went a little bit lower, but then I came into the market today and I get to do the same move pretty much from the same open price. So it's a strange inside bar, because if you see a big red candle, to suggest continuation is to stay down here. This is not suggestive of continuation, it's suggestive of rejection. Because, I mean, where we closed was the value yesterday, and now the market's completely rejecting that on a lot of stuff. So it's strange. It's almost a negation of what we saw yesterday. And really what I'm seeing is we're repeating a move that we had Tuesday. So same VPOC area, same upper range, but to us it's like, it's a weird drawing of two greens and a giant red. So that's what's strange about it, is like the visual side of it. I don't see that very often when I'm working in balanced areas. And mostly what I'm trying to envision is like what's happening on the weekly, right? Because we have these bounces from December, and what happened yesterday tried to like start a weekly consolidation or a little weekly pullback, and look at what's occurring. No downside, no selling. So it's kind of just like bouncing off of the low, and that's why I'm thinking tomorrow, if we get some energy, maybe we can run to the other side of where we ended last week, or at least Monday high for most of them. So Nvidia is still more bearish leaning, but I bet you the daily candle still suggests some of that. Yeah, it's a little tougher here. You know, it's very nuanced trade. That high got tested, so it's not great. But inside and continuation suggestive looks like this, because that had force, that stayed in the lower boundary, and then we had more force. But now we're getting almost like flips, minor flips in range. You shouldn't have to test the high to keep it weak. So it's kind of weird. Some of this stuff got really smoked yesterday. Ooh, got hit pretty hard there. So yeah, David, I guess if you're a pattern-based trader, I guess what I'm suggesting, now that I think about it a bit more, if we have 3 days of information that look weird and we're trying to get a reversal tomorrow, we must be thinking Tuesday is the left shoulder, Wednesday is the head. And always weird to draw these, but you know, it's the head, and then the right shoulder is today. Because if Wednesday tried to drop price, but we immediately come back to our shoulder lines, then a real reversal pattern on this magnitude would be breaking the neckline. And that's happening on the SPY, it's happening on PLTR, but not every stock looks like a head and shoulder. So I think it'd be more towards the ones that have like an upper neckline, and then we'd need a pretty strong break to confirm it. Does that make sense? The entire day is the shoulder for most of those. That's why it's weird looking. But and all patterns are really discussing acceptance or rejection of prices a lot of the time. So, you know, a big move and then a small minor move just means the sellers aren't quite there, and then we look for flag extension to move it again. That's like price acceptance and continuation. On a day, it might be a big bar and then a sideways inside range. Hence flag, you know, we think continuation. So we're trying our best to like think about what's actually setting up. But this to me looks like potential for a head and shoulder reversal. If where's our neckline? Probably here. This would be the target. It'd be 6,900, but we need fast movement because this is the theoretical target of a breakout. This session is what we're trying to reflect. I would rather measure the session size and then anchor it to where I think the breakout might originate from, which this one originated from this area, so I'm kind of pretending like it came from here. I'd shoot for 68.50, and if you got extra, that's a single day target, yeah. And yeah, in order to get to a target, yes, you have to break a few things, that's true, but I love the logic. How do we get up there? You'd have to break that high. Yeah, that's the point. People losing makes the market move. Of course you got to break something. What do you think we're doing all day? Breaking people. People who aren't quite in the right spot. But yeah, I think if I'm looking at projections here, like just candles, right? The market is capable of moving this distance in a day, on a good day, bullish or bearish. This day started right above a close. So let's say we close kind of flat today. We open here, and then I want to measure the size of this candle and just put it over here. Whatever that distance is would be a end of day target, because it would have to go all day. You'd have to have a similar extension, and yes, a few things would break, but if the candle's only that big, we would not clear Monday's high. We'd be close, and we'd be right back to the FOMC prices. Yeah. So there's a lot of ifs there, like, but the only way we acknowledge the breakout is if we clear these 3-day highs that are all kind of in the same spot. And just, the action today doesn't look that interesting, but tomorrow's action could break today's action. That'd be nice. So something to think about for tomorrow. I'm not giving up on the bullish thesis of this market wants 7,000. So it's mostly just trying to navigate sessions. That way we can see how we're targeting. No offense, Trader Troy. At what point did you offer offense? Have you even asked me a question? A bounce? Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll need a bounce, of course. Yesterday was a bounce in the opposite direction. Frustrated long. What'd you trade? Tesla. It did go up. So maybe the stops were too tight, or the viewpoint of the range was a little off. Tesla was tough. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I know that feeling
Yeah.
that you were just talking about. Like,
I mean, we all do it. Like, if you're inches off, you can miss it, right? If you're off sides a little bit, and most people are only trading in that first 30 minutes to an hour, so the expansion happened after the hour. It takes an hour to set up, so you can't be too mad if that's your trade time frame. I also don't think it was easy. All the morning trade was kind of like the first thing that did happen on Tesla was we rejected this high. So you would want to go back and see that there was a rejection here at first. It was our morning high, and I shorted right into it, so like I was looking down first. But it's also true that that high only offered so much downside even on Monday. So we kind of saw the same buyer supports come in, more in the Monday session baked in. And when they started flipping around the open price, I knew things were changing a little bit. It just, all that information took an hour to build. So by the time the first two 30-minute candles were prepped, you started to see that the open price and Monday's high, even though it sold, came back through, and then it was very difficult because it kept pushing right into the open, and then that last 5 minutes is when it started to surge. So if that's not your time frame, it's a harder trade, because you have to trust that that is happening inside of that range. It's a flip. of the price because the open was red first. I mean, we started selling first. So very nuanced. Those are hard to detect. I wouldn't harp on the idea that you could see that quickly, but it's good to maybe review those because there's logic behind why they do that, and it helps lock in the extension that's about to occur. So more importantly, don't stay short if you start seeing that kind of stuff, because it doesn't matter what high there is there. That's just a cap before they start extending. So, but it's usually 5-minute kind of signals and some turns. I think if Tesla were a more boring stock, maybe we stayed in this range longer, but the open price was a little too strong on the buy side. And then we had some orders at 490 and 490, 491.30, I think was like the tippy top of the 30-minute candle. So Gary and I were like, I wonder if we can hit it perfectly. And then both of us would have missed. But we hit the body. So it's either the body or the wick that we can hit. It's one of those. Am I doing Nike or FedEx earnings? I'm not trading them, but you're welcome to ask what the expected move is. Yes, please. All right. Let's see. Nike is a $66 stock. We're going to assume 7% volatility. So the expected move is probably, it's probably a little higher. Let's do 5.5. And it's 4.7. Damn. So 4.7 for Nike. Pretty good open interest on the call side, but a cluster of open interest at 60. So even though that's farther, seems like there's some pretty good put activity there today. 60 to the downside, even though it's outside the expected move, and then I'd probably just shoot for 70 or 71 top side. 75 is a little too far. So. And then FedEx is, we're almost at the 1 to 10, by the way. FedEx is 15. FedEx tends to be kind of spready during earnings, and also I've seen major violations of expected move, typically during very cyclical contraction phases. They tend to overreact on FedEx a lot, so be careful with that one. I do see that it's fully recovered this year, though. That's really interesting. That thing made a full turn. Damn. These stocks cannot be kept down sometimes. So yeah, the full year has turned around. That'd be kind of neat. Maybe we could do a blowout move there to 300.
Moving up. 1 and 10. Not a lot of movement.
Let's take a look.
SPY selling off. I don't see a lot of volume in anything right now.
PLTI, India. Yeah. Not seeing too much here.
Would have been nice to see Tesla get above 490 going into the close.
Yeah. Kind of maintain some altitude. Oh yeah, it's a tricky spot. I don't know what pattern this is. So we need a cup and handle breakout tomorrow on Tesla to have fun. Okay. The game is set. We have one seller on Tesla that stubbornly came in and stopped us from having fun. So if their stop losses are needed to break us to 500, so be it. This is the last seller I want to deal with before 500.
Those 500 calls are only $1.35.
Yeah, that's not too bad. But we need to get to 500 quickly to make them expand tomorrow.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
yeah,
Theta's
because
gonna.
that's a zero DTE trade basically.
Yeah, that Theta's gonna kill us if we're running it all day. What if we did like a 490, 495 vertical? That way it's $1.60 now, potential to be $5 tomorrow. 2.5 hour opportunity. It's not great, but it's not bad. Has to be something we can do. Or how about this? How confident are we that Tesla will not go back to 475? Because we could sell some stuff.
Yeah.
Sell like a put vertical.
I think that's pretty safe.
So maybe like all this
Famous
buying
last
support
words.
somewhere at 475 we could sell.
Yeah. Sell a 475 and buy a 495 for $1.
Let's see. This 5 wide for 57. Trying to see if I can make $1 anywhere. I could sell at 480, buy a 475 for $1. It's still kind of risky, but
Yeah.
then I could take that money and I could buy a vertical, reduce my cost.
I mean, yesterday we were at 465 at one point. So
I know this thing keeps moving back and forth.
yeah.
It wouldn't take us long to like get out of this stuff if we could put off sides, but if we're right, we could pay $50, carry some risk, and make 500 if we're right. Kind of makes sense. We could
Yeah.
widen that up a little bit.
How's the weather, Mike?
Oh, weather's good. So I didn't feel very well today. So a little hot. I think going back and forth, AC,
Yeah.
AC, hot, then come from Kansas City to hot. So I think it's just that initial, hey, get used to stuff. And I probably have not been drinking enough water
Oh.
along the way as well. So
I thought you were about to say just drinking. I have not been drinking enough.
well, that could be a problem too, because
Yeah.
I mean yeast, right? So yeah. But yeah, it definitely has not been the best way.
see on Tesla's kind of symmetric. You'd have to be confident in 500, but making a vertical is still worth the risk. The only question is, do you want to sell some puts? Sell this kind of lower range. Thought you were leaving, Trader Troy. I'm trying to do analysis here. But I'm just thinking for tomorrow, like if we gap, putting these trades on is harder because we're in a position to like set up a trade. If we're in the same area, we could do this tomorrow and have more price information. But an overnight gap in our favor would actually be bad to set up for tomorrow. So it's kind of like,
Tesla.
yeah, putting on verticals, you do want to be away from the target and then have the